What's up, ghosts and goblins? It's me, your girl, Nat, and joining me today is my co-host, Katie.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Katie?
I'm pretty swell. Just fought off some virus hacking thing on my computer. It's great.
Alrighty, so to kick off our Halloween episodes, which October is Halloween, okay? The entirety of October is Halloween.
Yes, it is.
We are going to be diving into our long-running series, I guess we could call it that now.
Hell yes. What is this, episode?
Four?
Four.
Three or four, yeah.
One of them.
One of them. You are listening to Wading into the Void. So today we are hopping back onto our cryptids train.
Hell
of
yes.
course. I mean, what's Halloween month without creepy crawly cryptid babies?
Upsetting. That's what Halloween is.
Exactly. So, we're going to go into 6 more state cryptids today. And I just want to talk a little bit before we go into tarot and stuff like that. If you're wondering why I have a lisp or if it sounds like I'm struggling to speak, it is because I got my tongue pierced. Hello, Mom and Dad, if you ever listen to this episode, I'm sorry. But you can barely tell if I'm talking to you in person because she put it pretty far back because I have a big tongue. So they probably won't find out. They probably won't find out unless I'm like sticking my tongue out at them.
Unless you're like, ah.
Anyways.
I think we're forgetting one big important thing we have to discuss before we dive into it.
What?
By the time they're listening to this, we finally revealed our big secret we've been keeping.
Yes!
We officially launched our incredibly low budget trailer for Halloween.
Honestly, though, it turned out really good.
I tried my hardest.
I think it turned out really good. We looked awesome. It looked super fun. It turned out awesome. It looked super fun. A lot of people liked it so far.
Mm-hmm.
I know I shared it to my personal Facebook, my personal Instagram,
Yes.
my Natty Ice Instagram. I'm hoping that it gets out there. We've already gained a ton of followers.
Yes, we have.
And me thinks that we are going to hit 500 followers this month, in our special month, which I told Katie a couple months ago. That was my prediction.
Yes.
When we had 250 followers, I said we are going to double that by Halloween. We're going to hit 500.
Yes.
It's going to happen. And you know what? It is going to happen. I give it like a week or two.
I think it's going to happen before the week is out. So we're recording this on a Monday night. So we still have, we'll say by the end of the business week. So we'll give it to the end of Friday.
Okay.
That's
so
my guess.
technically, when they're listening to this is like a while. I don't remember. No.
They're going to
Cryptids.
be listening to this on Thursday.
Yeah, okay. So this is going to be like, okay, hopefully by the time you're listening to this, hopefully tomorrow we reach 500. That would be awesome. We're already at like 476 or something.
We are at 472 at the moment.
Oh, okay. So 472. That's so freaking close, guys. That's so freaking close. Yeah, it's crazy. This whole experience has been crazy. Like I said to Katie multiple times, like I've said to you guys multiple times, I have like 2,500 followers on my Instagram, but every time we get just one follower on the podcast, like I literally want to cry because we both put so much effort into this podcast.
Time,
Like,
effort, tears.
Katie with all the marketing aspects, all the reels, the beautiful videos that she posts, me with my personality.
You've been editing a lot of episodes
Actually,
lately.
I have been editing a lot of episodes lately. That's why I had to re-edit episode 25 because I accidentally left some bad jokes in there. So if you're listening to it now, obviously they're not there anymore because I fixed it. But if you listen to the episode on the first day that it came out, please don't think any different of me. I was having a very bad day.
And I was like, we need to talk about the soap lady. So
yeah. So
we're about 5 minutes in. Do you want to hop into our readings?
Yes. So today I did something a little different. Usually I shuffle and Katie tells me when to stop.
Yes.
But this time I kind of took my cards out and I said, you know what? I never decide the card. I never pull a card for myself. And today I really wanted to do that because I just felt like I really needed to. So today I pulled out my cards. I said, this is for me. I never do this. Please tell me something that I need to hear.
I love it.
So this is what we got. So, of course, for this month of October, we are going to be using 2 decks throughout the entire month.
Yes.
And I think we talked about it before in our previous episode, but I will tell you every single episode so we give credit where credit is due.
Hell yeah.
So, today, our Oracle deck is the Halloween Oracle Guidebook by Mrs. Stacy DeMarco.
Ooh.
And guys, these cards are so awesome. These cards are so beautiful. Like, I want a signed copy of this. Like,
can we
they're
arrange
so
that, please?
I don't know where Stacy DeMarco lives, honestly. But if
send
that could
a
happen,
copy of
dude,
the
I would
Halloween
cry.
Oracle deck to
I
Stacy
would
DeMarco's
actually
P.O. Box.
cry.
Please sign.
Please sign this with a silver Sharpie. Thank you. To the Ghoul Girls. Whoa.
Whoa. Are we the Ghoul Girl?
No, I feel like is that ripping off Shane and Ryan, the Ghoul Boys? Ghoul Girl sounds better, though. Maybe because I'm a feminist, I don't know.
We'll let the listeners and Shane and Ryan decide that.
True. Okay, so for our Oracle card for today, I pulled this super awesome card. Katie, you're going to think this is pretty cool.
I'm ready.
I pulled the card Night Song.
Ooh.
And Night Song represents hidden talents.
I like it.
And it is a beautiful card. It is a couple branches and twigs, and it looks like a forest in the background. And the main focal point is a red cardinal.
Show me.
Look
You know,
at
your
that.
girl doesn't like birds, but that's pretty bussin'. I won't even lie.
I know you don't like birds, but this card is so cool. It's giving, like Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven.
Yes.
But a cardinal.
I stan.
Which is really interesting. So, the Night Song card says, a ruby red bird singing in the darkness full of sound, like an unopened present, ribbons still bound. And it says, a bird singing. Yeah, I was like, Edgar Allan Poe, who? You mean Stacy DeMarco? Anyways, a bird singing at night is an unusual occurrence, and those birds who are known as singers of the darkness are almost always considered sacred or frightening. From the operatic nightingale through to the hooting owl, hearing a bird that you cannot see weaving its magic through the night sky has captivated humans for millennia. This is an interesting card that we pulled for the Cryptids episode.
It is.
Because it reminds me of the Mothman, you know?
Yes.
In the past, at Halloween time, a night that the veil between the worlds was said to be at its thinnest, these night birds were considered either omens or messengers of the gods. Depending on the culture, their voices were perceived as good luck and a positive validation, or alternatively a warning about continuing on a certain pathway. In some mythology, the night bird was able to direct us towards discovering our talents and true purpose, a kind of guide in the darkness leading us to the dawn. Should this beautiful but shy bird sing to you by appearing during your divination, know that you must unwrap the present of yourself. Look, some of the gifts within you remain unopened. The time has come to step into your true potential and claim all possibilities for yourself. There's no more time to waste, no more excuses, which this is kind of crazy too. And like I said, I pulled these cards for myself, and I've really been considering going back to the gym, starting up base again, and just starting to do more things for myself for my enjoyment.
Yep.
And also, this reminded me earlier, I wanted to tell you my one positive thing.
Yes.
I was going to the grocery store after work today. And it was just barely, like, dusk. Like, it was still pretty bright out, you know, getting a little bit darker. And I was on the exit to go to the grocery store. And the exit between the highway and the lights, there's, like, this little wooded area. And sometimes I see deer there, sometimes whatever. And I just happened to look over,
and there were 2 deer!
No. You're not gonna believe this. I looked over, and I thought I saw a puppy.
What?
I was like, is that a puppy? And I looked at it again, and it was a baby bear by itself.
Oh!
I don't know why it was there. I should look up the significance of a baby bear. But it was so...
Oh my gosh.
Weird. It was so weird. I have never seen a baby bear in the wild before, let alone a baby bear by itself in the middle of town. It was so weird.
Yeah. I also went to the store after work today, and I saw 2 deer, and that's why I was asking if you saw 2 deer.
It's very interesting because both of our cards today are related to the woods and nature, which is interesting. And
which, odd fact, last weekend, literally 2 days ago, was the opening of hunting season here in good old Vermont. So.
Yeah. All right. So, moving on to our tarot card for today, we are going to our horror tarot deck guidebook by Aria Gmitter and Minerva Siegel, illustrated by Abigail Larson.
Can I just say I love the name Minerva?
I know. Okay, I was just talking to Dylan about this because he was asking me which Greek gods or what the Roman names for Greek gods are. And I was talking about Minerva, Diana, the Bacchus, and you know how that's like Dionysus, Artemis. Who's Minerva?
I was thinking like, you know, more Minerva McGonagall, but like I just love the
Is that a
Minerva.
Harry Potter thing? It sounds like Harry Potter. You're smiling, so I'm assuming that's Harry Potter. But yes, so very interesting. So today's tarot card is a reversed card that I pulled for myself.
Dun dun dun.
And I pulled... Oh, let me describe it first.
Okay.
So it is very much so Red Riding Hood-esque. It is a woman running in the woods. She's covered in blood. She's got red hair, bright red hair. She's in the woods. And in the background, there's creepy wolf-looking creatures that don't quite look entirely wolf-like.
Dude. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Awesome! This deck is so beautiful also.
Okay, sneak peek for anyone who might be following me on my own personal Instagram page. And I'm interrupting this lovely tarot reading because...
That's okay. Plug that shit.
No, if you've been staying up to date on any of the reels I've posted, I shared some little tidbits about the book that I'm writing. And one of the supporting characters, the sidekick, the girl best friend...
Yes!
Her name is Raina, and she is a wolf shifter who has dark, like nearly blood red hair, who I plan to incorporate a little bit more mysteriously throughout the book. So that honestly is like straight up exactly what
That's
I'm picturing
so
in my head. So
that's so crazy. So this card is actually the Fool.
okay. I love it.
And we got it in reverse meaning. So I'll read what it says the card represents and then the reverse meaning for it.
Perfect.
I'm not going to read the upright unless we get it in the future.
Yes.
Okay. So, the Fool represents the start of a daring journey filled with thrills and chills. Like a naive survivor, bloodied and worn on a dark road, you don't know where this journey may lead. The only way to find out is to face your fears and begin. And so the reversed meaning says, the guardians of night cry out their warnings, but are you listening? The dark veil of night blinds your next move. Every breath you take counts, so choose wisely.
I love.
My tongue's getting so swollen from talking.
You need to put an ice cube on it.
That would be awesome if I had ice cube trays.
Oh. You should have gotten it pierced in the winter. You could have just stuck your tongue in the snow.
Well, the good thing is that it heals very quickly.
True. All mouth wounds do.
Yeah. So as long as and it has very little aftercare.
Oh, well, that's good.
Also awesome. Okay, so those are the cards for today.
I loved them.
I loved them too. And for the picture that I took of them, I didn't take pictures of them separately. I took pictures of them side by side because their colors matched. And I was like,
I love it.
Beautiful. So.
Maybe I'll incorporate that flaming red cardinal into the book somewhere.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Be fun. LOL Hunger Games Mockingjay who? Just kidding. The Hunger Games was and still is, because no shame, one of my favorite books ever.
I love the books. The movies are okay. Mad at the movies a little bit.
I like the first, second, and the last one. Mockingjay Part 1 left me a little like, eh.
What was even in that one?
Exactly.
Yeah. See, what I was mad about was... There's 3 different things that I was mad about.
Hit me with them. I'll counter if I need to.
I was mad that they didn't get rid of PETA's leg.
Okay, agreed.
They got rid of their amputee representation, which I didn't like. I thought
and they barely covered her like surviving deafness as well. So yeah, agreed.
So I was kind of mad about that because I thought that was a really big turning point of PETA. Was that he's this big, strong, able-bodied man. He loses his leg. And I remember I don't know if it was the second one or the third one or what. Not in the movie, but in the book. Where...
I've read it literally 7 times. Just
there
explain.
Was, like, the poison stuff that made him fall, and he could... Obviously, they had to drag him out. They had to carry him out because he couldn't walk because of his leg.
Yes, it was like the poison mist, and it was Fennec that had to literally carry him instead of good old... Starts with an M. Why can't I think of it? The sweet little old lady that he was
Maggie.
Like best... Mags.
Yeah, Mags.
That he was best friends with, and she sacrificed herself for PETA. And yes, no, that was a humongous part, and they just, like, completely ignored it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That pissed me off. And then I'm also pissed off because in the very first one, the dogs...
Oh, that made me so mad that they didn't do that the way the book did. Because it was done so like, good. Twisted and beautifully.
So fucked up in the book. Like, the dogs had the same eyes as all the contestants who died, and it was, like, really creepy and really weird. Like, they programmed it to be, like, fucked up.
I don't even think they programmed it. I think they used their eyes. We never got to see any of the tributes after they were lost. So I took it like they used them.
That's the point where Peeta loses his, kind of loses his leg. They bite his Achilles tendon.
Yes.
And they had to tie off his leg, and he had to get it amputated.
After he already had that severe, bone damage from the cut, so.
Yeah. So,
Homer was going through it.
That's most of what pissed me off, was the lore wasn't there how it should have been.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought the actors and actresses in the movie did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
That cast was amazing. I don't think they could have cast it any better, in my own opinion. But I can see where some things fell short. There was a few things.
That is, my big, big issue, is that the representation wasn't there.
One thing that made me mad, and then we'll get back to the actual episode, is...
This is our book review podcast, but also movie review.
We really need to start that, because this is cathartic.
Yeah.
But the thing that I always hated the most about the movies was they never really included the Avoxes. The people who had their tongues removed.
Oh, yeah.
They never used them until, literally, I think it was Mockingjay Part 2, where they finally introduced it, but by then they hadn't really mentioned anything of it other than, the small, one-line bit from, movie 1. And you lost it.
That's another representation that wasn't there.
Yes, Suzanne Collins did a beautiful job with those books, and if you have not read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and this is the last thing I will say, you need to, because it is going to give you so much inner turmoil, it's insane. Okay, because it focuses around President Snow, makes you like him and feel sorry for him, and then by the end you're like, hate this bastard again. So you need to read it. It is so good. So freaking good.
All right, so let's get into some cryptids.
Yes, let's finally do it.
Yeah. So, today we are covering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, once again, we are covering 6 states today.
Yes.
We are covering Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin. All right. And I definitely put some notes in here from the last conversation that we had about the certain books that I was reading recently.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so let's start with the very first one. This one's so weird. Katie, do you have these pictures up?
I do. What the fuck? Why is it Sasquatch with a sloth tail and 3 legs?
We are going to Illinois first, and this cryptid is called the Enfield Horror.
I get it.
And yes, it is a tripod creature that can leap at least 25 feet in a single bound. And people don't know what the fuck this is. Some people think it's some kind of evil spirit. Some people think it's an alien. People are just like, what the hell is this?
I think it's up to your own interpretation on this.
So, apparently the local sheriff got so annoyed with what was going on because an eyewitness was, spreading tales about this creature.
Mm-hmm.
And, the local sheriff got pissed and told this person to stop sharing their stories because it attracted drunkards who wanted to be monster hunters who were running around in the woods hoping to kill this creature.
No, you have to say it exactly how you pulled it from the website.
It says, an eyewitness was requested by local sheriff to stop telling this tale as it was attracting real danger to the neighborhood in the form of beer-swilling monster hunters hoping to fire a shot or two at the creature.
As we die.
Imagine you're just trying to tell people that you saw some scary shit and the police are like, yo man, you need to stop. Billy Bob Joe and Billy Bob Thornton are out in the woods with their fucking chug jugs full of fucking beer, shooting off their shotguns, trying to get a shot at this thing.
I was gonna say, as the sheriff's telling this guy no more, you see, like, Billy Joe behind him, like, pumping his shotgun.
Doing a shotgun of beer. Let's go, Bobby Joe. Like, okay.
I love it.
So, the Enfield Horror is reported to be a grayish color, 4.5 feet tall. So it's not even really that big. It's like a little baby with fucking 3 legs and a monkey tail. It has, 2 pink eyes, as big as flashlights.
Honestly, that's iconic.
It hops around like a kangaroo, and its feet look like dog footprints.
I'm
with
done.
6 toes.
I'm done with this one. I can't stand the hopping.
Just wait. I have a story. Okay.
Oh Jesus.
We gotta talk about this one a little bit more. So, Henry McDaniel heard scratching on his front door around 9:30 p.m. on April 25th, 1973. He looked out to his front porch and he saw this creature. Okay, and it terrorized this community for years. This little squat 3-legged creature, okay? So this is what he said. He said it had 3 legs, a short body, 2 little short arms, 2 pink eyes, and was like 4.5 feet tall, literally the size of my mom. Just kidding.
I'm like, she's gonna kill you.
She's 4'10", okay?
Oh my god, she's classified as a little person.
Is she?
Anyone who's under 5 feet tall is classified as a little person.
How am I that close to being a little person? That's whack.
Biology.
I'm like average height.
I am not a little person.
Katie's way taller than me.
I'm like 5'7", nearly 5'8".
Yeah, I was gonna say you're like 5 inches taller than me. Okay, anyways, McDaniel shot at this creature and hit it once.
He shot at it.
He shot it, and the monster hissed at him, quote unquote, like a wildcat, and jumped like a kangaroo and moved 50 feet and 3 hops.
I wish he pulled a kangaroo and kicked him.
like Kangaroo Jack. Oh my god. So, they discovered dog-like footprints with 6 toes outside of his house when the local police arrived. And he saw the monster again on May 6th at 3 a.m. And he saw something moving out on the railroad track. He didn't shoot at it.
Oh, wow.
It was running down the railroad track. And it was just, like, vibing. It wasn't, like, running away from something like it was scared. He told that story to a local radio station.
Mm-hmm.
The station news director kind of wandered around the area around his house and looking for this monster.
Mm-hmm.
And he claimed to see a creature that looked somewhat like an ape. And they kind of did an extensive search and failed to turn up this monster.
Lovely.
And the McDaniel said if they do find it, they will find more than one, and they won't be from this planet. I can tell you that. This guy's like, I know these things are definitely aliens. He's like, these be aliens, honestly.
It's the 70s. He's totally tripping on LSD.
But also, people are not really sure if maybe it was like escaped kangaroo or escaped ape or an alien.
How close is he to a zoo?
Enfield, Illinois. Let's see. So the closest zoo is an hour.
Okay. I mean,
so honestly, depending on where they were in Enfield and how long an animal had been escaped for, yeah, I could see it if it's all woods to there.
Yeah.
You know, I could see that being the case. It being like an escaped animal. But the way that it looks, I don't know where they're getting that from. Maybe Henry McDaniel was drunk when he saw it, and maybe it was a kangaroo, and the third leg is he's just confused. I don't know. I really don't know. It doesn't look like any creature that I have ever seen.
Yeah, me either. I think Henry's just a little confused.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems kind of a little crazy. Anyways, so let's move on because that was a pretty good first one. That one's pretty funny.
Yes, it was.
And the next one is a little more mundane. And this one is in Indiana, and we're going to talk about the Beast of Busco. So,
he looks like a snapping turtle.
Yes, that's essentially what he is. He is just a gigantic snapping turtle.
Gotcha.
Like, gigantic. They didn't say how big, but imagine how large snapping turtles can get when they're really old, like really big. I think they said that this one, oh yes, this one's the size of a Volkswagen. Yeah, so this one's like absolutely massive.
Yeah,
so,
I'd say so.
Thousands of people came to this town of Churubusco, Indiana, in the late 1940s to witness this creature.
Mm-hmm.
They called it Buscomania.
I'm done.
Because everybody was coming to see the Beast of Busco.
Mm-hmm.
For weeks, people were coming and flocking to the area to see this monster. Hunters even tried to introduce a lady turtle to the lake. Like, they were trying to get this creature. Like I said, basically it is just a gigantic snapping turtle. So in 1948, two men from Churubusco, Ora Blue and Charlie Wilson, claimed to see the Beast of Busco while fishing in Folk Lake. And then, in 1948, again, Gail Harris, the owner of the property which contained Folk Lake, claimed to have seen the creature as well. And then, again in March 1949, Gail Harris claims to have seen the Beast of Busco again. Okay. And then October 13th, 1949, 200 plus people reportedly saw the Beast of Busco as it appeared to surface the lake in an attempt to catch a duck that was being used as a lure. So I really do think that this was probably just a giant snapping turtle in the 40s.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. In the 40s, they didn't have as much, like, propellered boats, you know, things that were very disruptive to lakes and the ecosystem. So you could probably assume that this is just a really old turtle. Like,
I agree, because the enormous turtle, a species from the genus Stupendemes, lived 5 to 10 million years ago in lakes and rivers of what are now southern North America. Stupendemes was one of the biggest turtles that ever lived, with a shell that measured 8 to almost 10 feet.
Okay, so that's just the shell, too.
Just the shell.
So, if you take that into account, those creatures did exist, so why can't they exist now?
In Indiana.
In Indiana. I mean, it's like almost 100 years ago at this point. I mean,
exactly.
Like 80 years ago, so, you know, that's before a lot of bad environmental shit happened. So,
Si, señorita.
Very plausible, that one. Case closed.
Yes. And the case remains solved.
Alright, so now let's move on to Kentucky, one of my favorite states.
Ew.
Yes, we are going to talk about the Kelly Little Green Men, or otherwise known as the Hopkinsville Goblins.
Okay.
So, an explanation for these little silvery green men, people called them space goblins. And they tormented inhabitants of the Sutton farmhouse at Kelly one UF-filled August in the night of 1955. And I don't know, have you ever seen the... Yeah, okay, so have you ever heard of the McPherson tape?
Yes.
So it is a movie from 1989 that is one of the first found footage movies that was ever created. Yes. It is an alien movie, and I just recently watched it for the first time with my boyfriend, and it is goofy as fuck. But this reminds me of this. Like,
I don't know why. It reminds me of, like, a demented version of the aliens from Toy Story.
Yes, exactly. So, I guess bullets bounce off of these little creatures.
I stand.
I didn't go super into the story, but apparently they tormented these people in this farmhouse for an entire night, which is very, very similar to the McPherson tapes. So maybe that was based off of this story originally. Yes! Katie's showing me a picture of the aliens from Toy Story.
They have the ears and everything.
They really do, honestly. The earliest reports on the incident that happened at the Sutton farmhouse didn't refer to them as little green men. The color was added by the media, of course.
Yes, of course.
Because the media blows everything out of proportion. And early sightings described them as quote-unquote silver or with a greenish silver glow, which is very similar to the McPherson tapes. So I'm wondering if the McPherson tapes were inspired by this. I don't know if it took place in Kentucky or what, or in the movie. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's these little green guys. Basically.
I love it.
And now,
Kentucky's just like, yes.
Kentucky's just like, yeah, sure.
They're like, shit, we need a cryptid. The little green guys.
Katie, these last three, you're gonna like two of them, and you're gonna think one of the three is very funny, because I think it's fucking hilarious. But,
I'm ready.
So the next one and then the very last one that I have are very similar. Okay. Like, it is another archetype thing, but I had to include them. I had to talk about them because you know what kind of books I've been talking about recently?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Are my monster fucker books. So,
oh boy.
Going on to Michigan, we have the Michigan Dog Man.
Oh my god. Hi, God, I'd like to take one confessional, please.
Hi, God, it's
Forgive
me,
Father, for I have sinned.
Anyways, so, in 1887, a pair of lumberjacks chased a dog into a corner and poked it with a stick.
Of course they did.
And this creature decided, hey, I'm gonna stand up on my hind legs and show y'all that I'm a fucking dog man, not a dog.
Okay.
And these guys obviously fucking shit their pants, but the dog man was perfectly peaceful. And he's a very good boy. And he just kind of walked away. But, of course, the woodsman fucking ran away pooping their pants.
Good.
So, they
Don't
described
poke animals with sticks.
Exactly. They described him as 7 feet tall, blue, beautiful eyes, and, canine-like face with the torso of a man, and a fearsome howl that sounds like a human scream.
Sounds like Tyler Hoechlin from Teen Wolf. That's all I have to say.
Anyways, he's a very good boy, and
Stop saying that.
He didn't have any bad things about him, so we need a Wattpad story written about this guy, and...
We do not. There probably are some. Just go look.
Anyways, moving on to my favorite one of this episode. This one's so fucking awesome. When I was researching it, I sent it to Dylan because I knew he would absolutely love this guy. We are moving on to Ohio to the Loveland Frogman. Well, actually, Frogmen. But, yes, Katie, don't even read it yet. Don't even read it yet.
I'm just looking at the picture and he's like... Hold on.
Anyways, this guy is an actual frog man. He is a frog man. Literally a 4 feet tall frog that looks like a bipedal creature.
I would be disturbed.
So, listen to this.
I'm ready.
In 1955, a man driving near Miami River near Loveland. Well, I don't know. Is it Miami, Ohio? Miami or Miami? I know Oklahoma says Miami. Other people say Miami, other places.
I think it's Miami.
I'll say Miami River near Loveland just before 4 a.m. and saw 3 human-like figures on the side of the road. He pulled over to help them and realized what he saw. They were creatures about 4 feet tall with webbed hands and feet and green leather-like skin. The faces looked like frogs. The largest frogman held some kind of a wand over its head, and it began spitting sparks. Like, he really did go hoodie.
I love it!
Like, the guy driving was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Slammed on the gas and sped away. Like, he was gone. He was gone. And that was not even the only encounter of the frogman. Because, like, 20 years later, in 1972, a police officer was driving on just a back road and was startled when a creature about 3 feet tall jumped from the side of the road and dashed to the other side on 2 legs. Like, imagine seeing a fucking frog sprint across the road. Like, it jumped over the guardrail and into the river. And soon after that, another officer stopped to move what he thought was a dead animal. And when the lump leaped up and ran, and oh no, the officer shot and wounded the beast. And,
of course.
But it escaped from the river, and you don't know if they're magical, they might have healed themselves.
True.
Who knows? So we got some wizard frogs in Ohio. I feel like they need a robe and a little hat, but maybe they just vibe in because they're in the water. You know, you gotta stay slick in the water. You don't want anything weighing you down. But these guys are fucking great. I want to meet the Loveland Frogmen. I want to be accepted into their society. I want them to be my best friend.
Like, that frog was straight up like, Episky from Harry Potter. It's their healing spell that heals bones. No, but frogs freak me out, like, at their normal size. So if I saw one of those at, like, 3 or 4 feet tall, like I would just end myself.
Like the size of a 5-year-old running around.
Just gave me, like, the goosies. I don't like it.
Because
they're, like, sticky. You know that. You know they're sticky.
Yeah, they're gross. I mean, I'd fist bump one, but I
would not.
I would not hug one. I'm sorry.
I would be like, give me that wand, though.
I think they're the magic. I think they might just be a stick, and they're the magic. Yeah, I'm sorry, Katie. I know, it's unfortunate. But the wand would be a cool trophy.
It would. I'd be like, I got this from a frog. A frog man. And people would look at me like I was insane. Even more than they already do.
Alright. So let's move on to our last state. Oh my gosh. we have yet again, another tall, dark, and furry puppy dog man.
Okay.
Katie, I can feel you cringing. Okay. So, in
said
Wisconsin... Well, not furry like that. He is actually hairy.
He's like, did you see my tail?
This is so funny to me, though, because so in Wisconsin, we have the Beast of Bray Road. A spat of werewolf sightings around Elkhorn in the early 90s caught the attention of the national press. And one witness said that the terrifying creature looked like a man who worked out a little bit. Like,
just a little bit.
Like, he just looked like a random, like, slightly fit guy who was just really hairy.
They're like, he has muscles, but I can still see that 5 pounds of extra fat on his stomach, so he must only work out a little bit.
No, but they say that he had big arms, basically. That's what they were trying to say. Maybe they didn't want to, like, seem like they were into it when they said that, but... No,
I think you're into it. And it's
No! Anyways, no, he was described as having big arms and grayish brown hair, fangs, pointed ears, long nose like a wolf, and could move upright or on all fours. So this is just a generic...
You're like, Daddy! We are so Gen Z-ing ourselves right now.
But no, this one's a little bit different from the dog man, because this one actually seems like some kind of a werewolf. The dog man just seems like a more dog-like creature.
He's like, you got any treats? And this guy's like, give me the treats, bitch.
This guy's like, open up. I mean, spread them.
Yikes! There it is.
But anyway,
and with that, everyone is way to get to the boy.
Wait, no, this one actually needs like a Wattpad fanfic. The other one,
no, it doesn't. If you want this, just go read Teen Wolf fanfic on Wattpad, okay? I'm guaranteeing you will be happy.
But they're not actual, like, wolves. They're like...
No, search Peter Hale fanfiction on Wattpad. You'll be satisfied. Trust your girl.
Does he actually turn into a wolf?
Yes, he's like his werewolf form. When he's an alpha, he turns into like a half-wolf thing. Yeah.
I haven't watched that show in so freaking long.
I love Teen Wolf, but the Beast of Gévaudan ruined it for me. Just saying.
You've said that before. I don't know who that is because I don't remember.
It's just an annoying creature. We really need a reaction pod.
Yeah, we do. We really do. Like, I need to be, like, tasked with certain things to consume, like, reading or watching, and then we'll talk about it. Like, that's Katie's, like, giving me homework.
I will be the host, and essentially just, like, you will be there just so I can be like,
yeah. I'll be the one experiencing it firsthand, and you'll be like, well, actually...
The one that knows way too much about weird, obscure things. Yes, that's me.
Yeah.
The one that was literally like, aw, the frogman got shot. A pisky! With my...
I piskied!
You smell like pisky! You stupid little frog.
Yeah, maybe don't hug him, because maybe they're actually toad men.
That's gross.
Make it warts.
Next!
Well, that is all I had for these lovely 6 states. These actually had really good ones.
Yes, I like these.
We didn't have any really lame ones this time, like Maryland and Maine. Just saying. Even though the turtle was like literally a turtle, it's still a giant fucking turtle.
How can you be mad at that?
Exactly. Like, it's not a fucking giant specter moose, that's all I'm saying.
But it's not even a giant specter moose. It was literally just like a ghostly moose. It wasn't even abnormally large.
It was like a little bit bigger than normal.
And white. Like,
and
ooh.
White.
So was Jerry down the street. Like.
Oh, man. But yeah, this is like my favorite running series currently.
This one's fun.
Immensely enjoy talking about these creatures. I love monsters. I love creatures. I love talking about them.
Oh, honey, we know.
No, I don't love them like that. Okay. I enjoy reading about that, but I don't actually enjoy that because they don't exist. Sorry.
How many more states do we have left, do you think? Are we about halfway through? A little over?
Let me check. I've been checking them off as I go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more episodes.
Okay, so we're about halfway.
Yeah, we've done 4.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is our 4th. So we did New England, the Middle East Coast, Southeast Coast. Now we're in the Mid-East.
Who knows?
next, we're probably going south.
We're going down south.
And then we're just going to make our way to the west, and then the last one will probably include, like, Alaska and Hawaii. So, I mean, that's basically going to be that last bit. So, yeah, that's all I have.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Do you have an outro?
I do not. I never do.
Would you like me to fly one?
Sure. I feel like we either gotta say Havidi Kadidi at the end or something involving tall, dark, and hairy creatures.
Okay, I got you. Until next time, Phantom Fam. Don't mistake an ancient turtle for a cryptid.
Because he's just vibing, honestly.
Don't panic at the last moment and be like, okay, we need a cryptid. Let's just pick something. And Tony next door is like, okay, those green little alien men from Toy Story are it. That's what we gotta go with.
They say, what do they say? What do they say?
It's the claw! Or something.
Claw. The claw. Okay.
Don't be like Natalie and have some weird, strange affection for humanoid, hairy beast things. And most importantly, do not ever
never
the Ohio Loveman Frogman. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
A biscuit.